Brian, I want to bring Pat in now. Pat, investigators trying to connect this rape case to the murders of two other women, Hannah Graham and Morgan Harrington. Do all of these crimes fit the profile, the same profile?
Absolutely, Carol. But first of all, in the rape case, which was 10 years ago, so we know this guy, if it is Jesse Matthews, he's been out there that long, possibly committing crimes for almost a decade. So, yeah, we have there is we had a witness that certainly identified a guy that looks an awful lot like Jesse Matthews, and there's supposedly DNA in that case as well. So if they can get him on that, then they definitely have their man. And if that DNA is connected to the Harrington case, again, you can't argue with that. And then we have witness and video from down in Charlottesville with the Hannah Graham case. And here we have Jesse Matthews again. So isn't that interesting that this guy is in 3 different places, where these crimes are committed? And this is very typical of a serial rapist / serial killer, because they can be one or both.
Brian, you've been digging into Matthews' background. We have pictures of him back when he was in high school. He was popular. He was a wrestler, a football player. He was very outgoing. Tell us more about that.
That's right, Carol. Friends have told us and told a gentleman we worked with, Coy Barefoot, who's an investigative journalist in Charlottesville, have told him that Jesse Matthews was very friendly, very outgoing. He was the captain of both the wrestling and the football teams at Monticello High School just outside Charlottesville. He graduated from there in 2000. And, I saw his yearbook. I talked to the principal at Monticello. He was not the principal at the time Jesse Matthews was there. But we went into the high school. We kind of visited there. We saw the yearbook. And there are quotes from Jesse Matthews all over that yearbook. He was a very popular student at the time, a very popular athlete. He was one of the best athletes in Charlottesville, Virginia at that time, one of the best high school athletes. So he had a lot going for him at that time. And then he went off to college at Liberty University in Lynchburg, and then Christopher Newport University in the Tidewater area of Virginia. And as we know, at those 2 places, he was accused of sexual assaults, but those charges were never formally brought.
Interesting. So, Pat, if Matthew is guilty, how does this sort of person fit the profile of a serial rapist killer?
One of the things when you look back at high school is that we have a lot of people there who probably do not recognize the traits of psychopathy. And believe me, this guy's not psychotic, so you can go try for all the insanity pleas you want, but he knew exactly what he was doing. He planned things. He covered up things. He eluded, if it's him, he eluded the police for a darn long time until he screwed up. So we're talking about somebody who is psychopathic. But what happens in high schools, people just don't recognize, especially when the guy is outgoing. They'll think, oh, he's a nice guy, he's fun. Yeah, he may tell stories, he may lie a lot, he may be manipulative, he may think everything's about him. He may never have any remorse for anything bad that he does, but hey, we like him, he's a fun guy. So it's sometimes later in life that these traits become more obvious, that people pay attention to them. So you don't just become a psychopath when you're, 25. You are one from very young age. People just do not recognize it. And obviously in college, these traits started showing their, evil side.
Interesting. Pat Brown, Brian Todd, thanks to both of you. I appreciate it.